And welcome back. Time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan at CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, certainly a big story this week. Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton's decision to release more information about her health. That's certainly some news, but there's a broader issue here that touches both candidates. Talk about that.
Yeah, I'd say I don't support either of them, but regardless of that, she would have been better served by being more candid on this, and especially on the emails from the beginning. It kind of feeds into a cycle. I don't say that lightly because I worked for Brenda Renault, who was always honest about her arthritis and the troubles she was having, and Lloyd Fields called her unfit basically because of her health difficulties. So I guess there can be a downside to it, but I just think honesty is the best policy. Now, interestingly enough, a lot of Republicans have been saying Hillary Clinton is unfit because of some of the troubles she's having. Now, I will say this about Mr. Trump. You know, now I hope he follows her model when it comes to his finances and his tax returns. Americans like to know these kinds of things about their leaders. It's not a crazy expectation. It's not an unreasonable expectation. They should act accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen in the past with other candidates. Like to see.
They both need to disclose what's going on.
Now, a few years ago, I remember you were part of a dinner, Pat was part of a dinner here in Oklahoma City honoring controversial conservative leader Phyllis Schlafly. You didn't always agree with her, but you were her friend for 37 years.
Yes, 37 years is hard to believe, half my lifetime and more. I have not agreed with her in recent months and in her newest book in her support of Donald Trump. I'm not an admirer of his. I think he's an existential threat to the Republican Party. However, I met Phyllis Schlafly in the late 1970s at a training for grassroots conservatives. She always spoke with honesty and clarity. Think about that statement. She always spoke with honesty and clarity when you put that in the current context of American politics. It was impossible virtually to misunderstand her and not catch her meaning on almost anything. In these latter years, I've come to appreciate more and more that kind of integrity. I recall the late Paul Tsongas, for example, who was always straight up with people, including about his cancer battle. He told a story once that Michael Dukakis had said to him, regardless of what happens when this is over, meaning his own presidential campaign, you're going to love this country. And he said, Pat, that turned out to be true. Well, Phyllis Schlafly was a woman who was in love with the law, in love with politics, and in love with her country. And that's why I loved her. She was my friend, and I'm sorry she's gone.
Well, those were things to be admired for sure. Pat, thanks. And you can read more about these and other topics at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great day.